Hi, my name is Mark Evans, manager of NetSuite Strategic Solutions at Bryant Park Consulting. Today I want to show you Bryant Park's solution for managing catch weights in NetSuite. Natively, NetSuite is really good about tracking inventory by a unit of measure. So a case in each, a pack, or even by weight, a pound, a kilogram, what have you. But the reality is certain industries require the ability to track inventory by both a physical unit of measure and a weight. And importantly, be able to value the inventory by the weight, price the inventory by the weight, but still track the inventory by the physical unit of measure like a case or an each. That's where the Bryant Park solution comes in. It provides the ability to do just that, as well as see the inventory by both physical unit of measure, quantity, and weight at all points in the life cycle, to be able to transact in weight as required across the transaction opportunities in NetSuite, inventory adjustments, purchase orders and receipts, sales orders and fulfillments, production, etc. And at the end of the day, as I exhaust inventory where I have weight discrepancies, the total amount out does not equal the total amount in because of scale variance or freeze thaw or any number of other reasons. Bryant Park Solution also gives you the ability to reconcile that inventory and keep the books straight. So let's move over to NetSuite and take a look at the solution in action. And here I'm going to show sales order fulfillment. The basic interface is going to be the same across the transactions in NetSuite. And if you want to see how the solution works for any specific transaction, please reach out. I will provide contact information at the end, and I'd be happy to meet with you and show you. So here I have a sales order, and there's only one item on this sales order, which is veal chops. And importantly, this is set up as a catch weight item. This item is also partially fulfilled. And you can see here, I'm using native NetSuite functionality up to this point. There were 16 eaches on this transaction originally, of which 4 have already been fulfilled, which leaves the 12 remaining open. The catch weight solution allows me to see not just that count information, which is there natively, but to also see it in terms of weight. So over here, we can see I have already fulfilled 7¼ pounds. I believe I will still fulfill another 18 pounds based on the standard weight that each is 1.5 pounds in this system. So if I want to move on and fulfill the next batch, I'm going to launch fulfillment. And this process is meant to feel like and not differ drastically from what anybody would natively do when fulfilling in NetSuite. And again, I'm showing fulfillment, but the same is true if it's a receipt or an inventory adjustment or what have you. I'm going to go ahead and fulfill another 6 of the units on this order. And I begin by providing inventory detail. Again, this is the normal process. I see the lots that I have available to me. I choose the lots I wish to fulfill and the quantity of each. So I'm going to choose 3 from this lot and 3 from this lot. It's worth noting that the Bryant Park solution gives you complete lot traceability as well. And now that I've provided the inventory detail, this is where the solution kicks in. I have the ability here to launch this screen, which is where I then capture the weight of what I am fulfilling. Now, this item is set up so that I record the weight at the lot level, which is why I am getting 2 lines here, one for each lot that I recorded. I also have the ability to record the weight at the unit level if I so choose. But here, I'm going to ship 3 units of lot 345, 3 units of this other lot, and I'm going to provide the weight for the total 3 units on each line. I also have the ability to set safeguards in place of how much tolerance I want to allow before the system throws a warning. So if, for example, I tried to fulfill only 3 pounds for those 3 units, I am going to get a warning that tells me, hey, the range should be here based on the way this item is configured. I then perhaps say, oh, okay, just kidding. These are actually 7 pounds, and perhaps these came in at some fraction. And my scale is super precise, but notice once I click out of it, it does rounding automatically. I have the ability to define how specific I want the rounding to be within this solution as well. From there, I submit and save the fulfillment as I would normally. That's just one example. Item receipts are going to look very similar, for example. Work order issuances, completions, all look very similar in terms of how the weight is captured when required. When we deal with catch weights, there's always the need, as I mentioned before, to reconcile inventory at the end of the day. And for that, we give you another function. And here I'm going to choose the location of Hoboken and search. And what it will then present for me are any lots or serial numbers, or in the cases of inventory that is not lot controlled or serialized, if you have actually exhausted an item completely, they will also show up here. But the ability to say these are the lots, in this case, that I have exhausted, meaning there's no more inventory on hand in terms of the eaches or cases or what have you, but there is still remnant weight in the system, or perhaps a negative weight. Because the weight is driving the inventory value, I need the ability to come in here. I can see the weight, the value at which that weight was brought in, and I can reconcile with the simple click of a button. This will serve the purpose of netting out my weight to bring it to 0 as well as adjusting the books to account for that weight variance. Hopefully you found this interesting, and if you want to learn more, as I said earlier, I would be very happy to walk through any transaction that you want or to any level of depth. Please reach out, solutionsinquiry@bryantparkconsulting.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.